Let's dive right into it. If you're going to be a great golfer, you need to learn how to hit the ball low and compress it. Here's a great drill for that. I put a towel about 6 inches behind this golf ball, depending on how thick the towel is. Where I've rolled this one over, it's probably about a ½ inch tall off the ground. And what I'm going to do here, if you want to hit it low, I got to get my weight to shift to the left. I feel like I'm pressing into the ground with my left foot. Then I start the downswing. So I have to press and then swing down. That gets me to miss this towel, and it puts me in a position where my hands can now lean in front. Now, what the pros are doing is they take the normal amount of loft, this club shaft straight up and down, and they lean the shaft forward, meaning that my hands are in front of the golf ball at contact, and that takes loft off this club. So the more you lean the shaft forward, the less loft is on this club face. Pros are taking about 30% of the natural loft off of whatever the iron is. So this is a 6 iron, normal loft is 30 degrees. I have 10 degrees of shaft lean. My hands are way up here to hit a good 6 iron. For this shot, I'm gonna go even extra. I'm gonna press into the ground. I'm gonna try to get 20 degrees of shaft lean to where this thing is a bullet, just super, super low. Let's go ahead and try that out. There we go, I like that one. That felt pretty low to me. Vertical launch of 11. Most of the time a 6 iron should launch somewhere around 17. That's pretty low and penetrating. I could go even farther than that if I want to, and there's one little trick that'll help me to do that. So we got to get our weight left. Even though I had a little loft on it, it still went 208 yards carry with this 6 iron because of the technique I'm about to show you. Now if I'm going to hit this shot well, or any full swing well, I need to have a bunch of lag. So my hands are in front of my right leg. This club is still parallel with the ground, and then here's the big key. If I'm going to hit a fade, a draw, any of these shots, the club has to come from the inside. So if I have the club out here, even if I'm hitting a fade, I don't ever want to get the club out there. That's not what the pros are doing. They're getting it from the slot, getting it from the inside, and when this club is parallel to the ground, what's called last parallel, it shouldn't be pointing toward the target. It should be pointing out to the right of the target, or the shaft should be to the inside like this. Now, once I'm from there, it's easy to rotate through this shot and de-loft it a ton if I want to. The second trick to this is I'm going to twist this club down. When I twist this club, it closes the face and it also de-lofts it. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So I'm just turning this club like I'm twisting it like a dial, like that. Let me set this club up to the ball and do the same thing. I'm going to twist it just like a dial, and I've closed the club face. And you say, okay, I get how that would make it go left. How would that make the loft go off? Well, now I have to lean the shaft forward almost, 15, 20 degrees to get the face square again. So the more I close this club face like this, the more I have to add shaft lean to square it up. You see, if I keep my wrist flat and I add shaft lean, I don't twist the club, it's wide open. So now I've got the shaft lean, but that ball's going way out to the right. I have to add this twisting motion. So it's really counterintuitive, but we got to get from the inside. We got to twist this club face down, and then now we can have a ton of shaft lean and still have that face being square. So same feelings. Step into my left foot, club from the inside, really turn it down with a lot of shaft lean, and this thing's going to come out like a low bullet here. I overdid it a little bit. I could tell that one was a low hook big time, so I like that. I would rather you overdo it. Look how low that thing launched at 7 degrees. That's less than half what a 6 iron should be launching at. But I like that feeling. Just overdo it until you get those low hooks, and we can always back off of that feeling. To straighten that out again, I would lean the shaft forward even more to make sure that that face doesn't close down. I go ahead and square it back up like that. So let's go do one more bullet low swing, except this time I'm going to see if I can try to get it not to hook on me. There we go. That thing's as low as I'm going to be able to hit a straight one. Nice little draw. 9.7 vertical launch, and not the big hook because I really got that thing leaning forward. So not only do I think that that is a good shot to hit low, I think that's probably the best shot you can do to have good technique in golf. One of the best drills that you can do. For the high one, I'm just going to go the opposite. I'll put the towel in front. All of a sudden now, I'm a little bit more toe up. So I'm not taking the loft off of it quite as much. I'm still from the inside, and I'm only going to make one tweak. Instead of stepping into my left foot early, I'm going to feel like I keep a little pressure on the inside of my right foot through contact. So little pressure on this part of my foot, almost the inside ball of my foot. I'm going to keep pressure there. I'm going to keep my head a little farther behind the golf ball so that naturally I'm swinging a little bit more up. And then I'm going to launch it over this towel. Now this is a little bit of an illusion. I'm still hitting down through the golf ball. I'm just not hitting down as much. So you give yourself a little bit more space to miss that towel. We don't want to overdo it because then we'll start to chunk it a little bit. But I'm going to try to just, same technique, toe a little bit more up, head behind the golf ball, and miss that towel. So I feel like for me, I'm staying behind it and just really going tall into the finish. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl. There we go. So you see much higher. Hard to tell on this computer screen. That thing is a mile in the air. The launch angle was 17.5, up from 7 the one before, so more than double. Ball went way up there in the air. I hit the towel, but that's not a big deal. You can play around with where you put the towel. It's more just a visual reference for you to get the general idea of what to do. Now, from there, the last thing I would say is when I'm hitting this high one, I want to finish high. I want my arms to go up high. If I'm hitting a little lower, they're going to come a little bit more to the left. That's the last little key there that I think really helps a lot of players to do this. Same thing with the fade and draw. I like to have a little visual feedback. This impact bag is from Eyeline Golf. I like this one. If you don't have this, use a rolled up towel, use an old pillow, use whatever you want to use. I just like this because it's great for a lot of drills. I'll put a link somewhere on this page in this video. If you want to buy one of these, you can buy it from that link. They do give us a few bucks if you buy one from there. If you don't buy it from me, buy it from somewhere else, that's completely fine. But it helps us support the channel, help making these great videos when we're doing this. So the impact cube from Eyeline Golf, what I'm going to do to hit this draw now, give myself a little visual reference. I'm going to put this in line with the golf ball, and I'm going to put it about a grip length behind the golf ball. So this is a straight shot. What I've done is I've made a little zone here to where I'm going to miss this bag. I'm going to start out with the draw, and if I get this from the inside, it's much easier to swing inside out and let that release. The last piece here for this draw that almost everybody gets wrong is I have to let that hands roll over much faster than you think. I'm going to get it from the inside slot. I'm going to release it, and when my club gets about parallel with the ground in the fall through, I want to feel like this face is pointing down to the ground. So I've really got it in the slot here, and then I'm letting that thing roll over hard. I'm going to exaggerate here, miss this impact bag, really let it roll over to show you can really hook it if you're doing this. There you go. That should be a big sling and hook. And that's pretty good with a 6-iron. I can't get it to move much more than that. The spin axis of that golf ball, I know it doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. 20 degrees to the left, that thing's really got a lot of curve on it, which is great for this drill. I can always tone it down, but again, I'd rather you hook the heck out of this ball than to have it just barely turn over. We can always dial back on it a little bit. I'd rather feel the extreme first. If I want to hit a fade, I do the opposite. I put it in line with the golf ball, put the golf ball about one club shaft length here. And with this one, that ball, if I fade it, is going to graze that bag. So I actually like to give myself a little extra room, have that stick out about an inch or so outside of that. I've found that most players don't have trouble fading the golf ball. So just a little small visual reference like this. If you want to make it even more of a visual reference, you can put something else, and now it makes this path the direction I'm trying to swing. I'm going to be a little bit open with my stance, and when I come through to the follow through, I basically want to be toe up, this toe straight up and down here, instead of with that big draw, I was releasing that club like that. So look at my forearms, draw versus fade. I'm not going to roll my forearms as much in the fade. So now I've got this visual cue. This is a really easy one for most players. Line up a little left. Here's the one thing that I think, if you're ever hitting a fade, this is the part you need to know if you're going to hit it well. You still come from the inside. So in a fade, that club doesn't get out here. If this is straight down my target line, when I'm in my downswing, the club is coming from here, and it just releases out in front like that. So if you look at all the power fade hitters, the power comes from still being shallowed out in the slot rather than getting the club out there like that. So let's go ahead and give this one a whirl. There we go. Nice little fade. again, not too tough for most players. If you do those 4 drills and you get control of this club, that way you can play golf and be in control of your golf game. Now, most players in my experience have never been shown the right way to release the golf club. We're told that we need to do something with our forearms to release the golf club, but that's not exactly what the pros are doing. Most players are using what I call kind of a rolling method to square the face. Well, I want to share with you the anti-roll method, the right way that the pros are squaring up the face. Whether you're playing this draw or you're playing a fade, you have to know this if you're going to hit it well. I recommend you nail down the draw with this anti-roll method. Get it to be like clockwork, where you know you can hit that draw every single time. I'm going to play a preview for that video coming up right now. It's called the anti-roll method, and I can't wait to share with you the right way to release the club once and for all so you can start hitting some great shots. All you need to do is go ahead and click the card, one of those little buttons that pops up somewhere on the screen. If you don't see that, don't worry. Just go down to the description below, click the link there, and I'll give you instant access to that video. Best of luck. Let's go ahead and get started with the anti-roll method. Here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep. And that steep club causes all your problems. It causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strikes. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only 2 pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,